VikingsChat.com website. I'm David Erickson, the host and publisher of Minnesota Vikings Chat. This is the 10th episode of Vikings Chat, and so far we've had more than 25,000 views on YouTube for these podcasts. So thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it. Hope we continue to enjoy your loyalty. Now is a slow time between the draft and training camp, and not a lot happens. That's not going to stop us from chatting about from hardware technology to social technology. We've got Vikings rookies on Twitter, so I've got a list of the Vikings new rookies that have Twitter accounts. Hint, all of them do. Marketing is my profession, especially online marketing. So I pay close attention to how athletes use communications tools like Twitter. And so all you young athletes, you might want to pay attention to this segment because of how some of these athletes have used or are misusing their Twitter accounts. Not a bad way, but for marketing purposes, not particularly useful, I think. So our first pick of the first round, Sharrif Floyd, defensive tackle. His Twitter account is at Sharrif Floyd, and that's a great username. It is his name. It was probably easy to get because there are not many people named Sharrif Floyd. But that is the type of username you want as an athlete if you're going to use Twitter or online or Facebook or whatever. You want a consistent username across social accounts, but you want one that's simple, easy for people to remember, and it's going to be your name if you can get that. If you're Joe Smith, you're going to have a hard time getting that username. But if you can, get your actual name as your username for your Twitter account. So Sharrif Floyd is very active on Twitter and entertaining, and what's fun about watching these athletes on Twitter is you get a glimpse behind the scenes often about what it's like to be a professional athlete, which is pretty cool. Our second first round pick, cornerback Xavier Rhodes. His username is Xavier Rhodes. That's XAVIERRHOEDES 29_. So that's his Twitter account. Now with Rhodes, he changed his Twitter account. It was Xavier Rhodes 27, which is the number he wore in college. But because he had that 27 as his Twitter account because his college number when he got drafted, he had to get a different number 29, and therefore he changed his Twitter account to reflect his new number. Now he has an underscore after the 29 because someone else had Xavier Rhodes 29, probably somebody who's sitting on that username because he got drafted and he's going to be an NFL player and they want to own the account for whatever reason. And Xavier Rhodes, just that username is taken as well, but Xavier _Rhodes is not taken. Now, if I were advising him, I would have said use that one. That's more closely that's going to offer you more flexibility. Who knows, maybe you'll need to change your number. Maybe you'll get traded somewhere down your career and your number won't be 29 anymore, and you'll have to change your Twitter account again. The thing is people remember your Twitter account. They remember your username, and if you go changing on it, you're making it harder for people to follow you. Now, that's not going to lose many followers if he changes his username on Twitter, but a lot of people link to, especially bloggers like me, link to athletes' Twitter accounts, and when you change the username on your Twitter account after the fact, those links are broken. So you're losing all that potential traffic sent to your Twitter account by changing your username. So you should avoid changing your new username. Some of these guys, I don't know, they're probably not going to have any choice. Our third first-round pick, 3 first-round picks this year, awesome. Cordarrelle Patterson, wide receiver. Now this is a very, very interesting username. Cordarrelle Patterson's Twitter account is C as in cat, EEFLASH, P as in Paul, EE84, C/P84. Now, I understand that Cordarrelle Patterson's initials are CP, Cordarrelle Patterson, and that he's it sounds like he's called CP as a nickname. But the way that he's used his Twitter account, CEE for C, Flash, PEE for letter P, it just looks weird, especially the inclusion of the word P in his username. It just causes one to stop and go, what is he trying to say with that? I'm sure he wasn't thinking that much about it, but that's what people's reaction is going to be when they see that username. So it's unfortunate, but there's P in your username, Cordarrelle. So there's that. Gerald Hodges, our fourth-round pick linebacker, his username is G_Hodges6. His number in college, of course, he's going to be wearing number 54, so that doesn't apply anymore. So as a young athlete, think about using a username that's flexible and not tied to an identity that may change, particularly your jersey number, because it could very well change. Jeff Locke, punter in the fourth round, our pick to replace Kluey. His username is JeffLock18. That was his number as college. He'll wear number 12 as a Vikings. Same thing. Jeff Baca, sixth round pick, guard. His username is JBaca, BACA 60. And fortunately for Baca, he's got the same number as a Viking, so he doesn't have an issue there. But that's just luck of the draw. Travis Bond, seventh round pick, guard. His username is TBond252. I don't understand where the 252 comes from, but that doesn't pose any problems that he needs to change his username because of a jersey number, because we don't have three-digit jersey numbers. Now this one, the next one, Michael Mauti, seventh round linebacker. His username is the Mauti. That's a good, memorable username. It's a little bravado, the Mauti, and it's easy to remember. So, and he's not going to have to change it. So very good. Everette Dawkins, last pick of the seventh round for the Vikings, defensive tackle. He's got compounded problems with his username. So his username is EDAWK, DAWK, FSU 93. So Dawkins has included both his college shortcut or college acronym, FSU, Florida State University, and his jersey number there, number 93. So those are two things that potentially that have changed. He's no longer in college; he's with the Vikings, and his username, his jersey number is not 93. That's taken by one significant Viking already. So be careful when you're choosing your username, young athletes, to allow you the flexibility to move throughout your career. So end the social media lesson. Let's wrap it up for this week. So what do you think about the podcast, about the topics here? Leave your comments below, and visit MinnesotaVikingsChat.com too, and click on the subscribe tab at the top to sign up for our weekly Vikings Chat newsletter so you don't miss any of the content. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/MinnesotaVikingsChat. Like that, of course. And follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/MNVikingsChat, and use the Vikings Chat hashtag when talking about the Vikings online. During every Vikings game, we have an active chat, so join us then. But use the Vikings Chat hashtag so we know you're talking Vikings can find you. And finally, make sure you subscribe to the Vikings Chat YouTube channel, and so you don't miss any of these wonderful podcasts. 25,000 and counting. So let's wrap it up for today. Until next week, go Vikings!